Hi everyone, I thought I would do just kind of a sit and chat video today. I don't know about you, but this year has been a very strange spring for me. Lots of rain, cool, and now summer has rolled in and have been getting a lot less rain, and it's quite hot here. But this past spring, I have been dealing with black spot, a lot of black spot, like I never have before. I think because of all the rain. And I practice no spraying in my garden. I don't spray for pests. I don't spray fungicide or anything. I really desire to have a garden where I not only have pollinators and have lots of good bugs and the bad bugs that hopefully the good bugs eat. It's not just for the pollinators and all the bugs in my garden, but also for me and for my children. I just desire to not have unnecessary chemicals in the air, on my flowers, and no judgment to people that spray. It's just not for me. I don't have time for that either. I want to be able to enjoy my flowers and not have it be any more chores than necessary. Certainly watering takes up enough of my time. So anyways, all that to say, I have been dealing with black spot, and I've had some roses in the past that have suffered from black spot, but this year I just have a whole new batch that are struggling. And it definitely is tempting to despair and freak out and question if I'm doing the right thing with not spraying. But as I've kind of given it some weeks for things to settle out, I wanted to share with you what I am doing about it, and hopefully that can be an encouragement and maybe give you some food for thought if you have your own plans to have a no spray garden. So number one, something that I didn't do super well this late winter, early spring, was I did not clear away under my roses like I should have. Clearing away the dropped leaves from the previous year, the ones that did have a few, black spotted leaves there at the end of the season. I really wasn't meticulously worrying about clearing away those leaves or the mulch. So I know that's one thing that I plan on doing this coming year as the season ends, is just being a lot better about clearing away the black spotted leaves. Number two, gardening is all about figuring out what works in your space, in your garden that you have, in the climate that you have. And I have figured out that there's just some roses that are not made for to thrive in my climate without that maintenance of spraying. And so what I'm planning on doing is, if the particular varieties that are really struggling, for instance, my beloved peace roses are really struggling and it's making me very sad, but I might just need to be willing to let them go, or just move them into their own corner where I can enjoy them when they do okay, but then not be stressed out that they're making the rest of my garden look icky with all their black spot. And just select more of the varieties that are disease resistant and are just going to perform their best in my climate, because I still do have many varieties that don't have black spot. They're right next to one that's riddled with it, but there's a reason why a lot of the newer varieties do better, because they're being bred to have that resistance against black spot and to just not be as high maintenance as some of the older varieties. I will say I do have some older varieties that are doing fine, but anyways, just be willing to stick with what performs well, survival of the fittest, and don't be disheartened if something doesn't work. Just keep looking for a better option. So I mentioned some that I have that just haven't had a single speck of black spot on it. There's also some that very quickly seem to have been overtaken by black spot that now, after losing a bunch of their leaves, have bounced back with fresh leaves, and they don't seem to be struggling like they were. They look fine. And from my understanding, sometimes that happens. They just get black spot, and then give them some time and they will bounce back. So number 3 is just be willing to be patient and wait for them to look better if I do happen to have the climate factors that are making them get black spot in the first place. So on that note as well, what I have learned in my gardening practice and what I am willing to kind of adopt is just giving myself and my garden permission to be imperfect. Not every leaf needs to be perfect. Not every bloom needs to be perfect. I have desired to have a spray-free garden, and that has some pros and that has some cons. But as I've given it a few years, pest-wise, things have really balanced out, and I still have lots and lots of beautiful blooms, though I do have, times where the pests are munching on my roses, but it's worth it to me. And I have determined that the black spot is the same thing. I just need to kind of accept it as part of my garden and not freak out. It doesn't seem to harm my roses. It can make them look unsightly at times, but particularly if I'm sticking with varieties that bounce back from that black spot. So I'm a member of quite a few online rose forums and groups where people share about the roses that they're growing. Lots of times people in those groups will post pictures of black spot, or post about how they have this pest or that pest, and they're just, I think their expectations rob them of the joy of gardening. If you are willing to kind of let nature be nature and let your roses perform to the best of their abilities, and try to lean into the ones that perform the best for you, you'll just have a lot easier of a gardening time, in my opinion. So anyways, those are just my thoughts for today. I don't know if anyone else is feeling discouraged about their own roses this year, but just wanted to share some of my musings about what I'm doing, what I'm going to do next year, and so take heart, and hopefully next spring will be a little bit easier on all of us. But I do plan on next week putting out a video telling which roses have performed the best for me this troublesome spring that we've been having, which ones have avoided black spot, which ones have bounced back quickly, and I might share which ones I may be moving because they're struggling. So anyways, let me know if you guys have any questions, or if you have any recommendations on roses that have performed really well for you with black spot specifically. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with my rambling. So happy gardening.